feel happy and privileged that it's not often that you prepare for two different Pope's visits with intervals of 20 years. I remember the last one was 1995. The difference is so big in terms of the context. 20 years ago, Kenya as a country was in a very different situation, politically, economically, socially. The issues, the problems that we face now, which are also the context that informs the Pope's visit, are very different. This time round, we have the issue of terrorism, the issue of a new dispensation in a country under devolved government. We have a much more robust economy. All these are influencing the preparation. But the biggest difference is that there are two different popes. John Paul II was another person, and Pope Francis another person, with different expectations and styles and ways of doing things. When we handled the first Pope's visit, the level of commitment of Christians was much higher. Therefore, we had a lot of people participating for the visit, unsolicited. They didn't need a lot of mobilization. Nowadays, people sit in their sitting rooms and watch their TVs. And also their interests are very many. There are very many more opportunities for the Kenyan people. And the security issue is very important, that has caused us now to really solicit names and identification of people who are coming. Last time we didn't bother at all about security, about how people would enter. Nowadays we have also much more specialized people at our disposition, so we have many professionals available to give services than was possible at that time. The means of communication, the telephones, the internet are all making our preparations very easy, networks. The government of today is very much more open and generous and is helping a lot more than last time. I think that all in all, there are things that are much easier now to do than they were last time. And yet there are other things that are very difficult to do now than it was last time. For example, last time there were very few radio stations, very few papers, very few TV channels, and therefore communication was difficult. And we did not need to think about big screens to let people see what's happening. And the public address system, now we have to take care of those things. People want well done things. And all this is making the visit very technical, very technological. We had a huge crowd. It was estimated at 1 million people that time. We also now expect 1 million people to attend this time round. Only that the spaces we used to have that time are not the spaces we have now. Uhuru Park used to be very empty and wide and capable of accommodating all those people. Now Uhuru Park has dams, it has monuments, it has trees, it can't accommodate people anymore. Actually, we just use it as an overflow site to accommodate about 200,000 people. What else? Last visit, the Pope had very few activities. As I can remember, he had one big mass at Uhuru Park, and he had the function at Resurrection Garden. Now this Pope has a fleet of activities at State House, at the university grounds, at Kasarani, at Kangemi, at St. Mary's. There is a lot of activities we are preparing, and each venue, population, they are all different each time. So it is a whole different ball game than what we did last time. We are planning, and there are good well-wishers that are going to finance good communication system and network, so that contracts have been signed with companies that are capable of streaming the images from the University of Nairobi to all the other places where people would be gathering. In fact, in Central Park and Uhuru Park and Nyayo Stadium, which we consider as flow over areas, we will have people, and we will have their big screens and public address as well. And we are also planning to have some of those screens set up in the counties so that not everybody come to Nairobi, but they could sit in stadiums there to watch the Pope conducting the activities. The official information is that the Pope will address people from Nairobi University. In fact, the dais from which he will conduct the Mass is over 50% in its construction. So we can't be having any half ideas to go to do it in Uhuru Park. People will be there as a flow over. We can't accommodate everybody at Nairobi University. We have to have people in Nairobi University which will hold about 200,000, people in Central Park which will hold about 300,000, people at Uhuru Park about 200,000, Nyayo Stadium 30,000, and City Stadium as well.